Guys, welcome back to the PinchE channel. I'm your host, the PinchE, and today we're going to talk about realistically what's coming in 2024. Let's get to it. Guys, welcome back to the channel. Yes, 2 videos on the same week. Crazy, I know, but of course, we're on break, so we have time to talk about things. Today, we're going to be talking about the things that are more likely to come in 2024. We know we talked about that Korea, the developers, how they talked to a bunch of players and other people that are involved with Digimon Masters. And so we have a pretty good idea of what the timeline is looking for, what their expectations are. But let's talk about the things that I know that like sound better than others, right? So let's start it off with my number 1 pick, which is the raising of the level cap from 140 to 170. That does not sound hard to do. They've done it before. We haven't seen a jump this high in a while, but I think it's the most likely to happen just because the game's moving forward, and obviously there's going to be more difficult content, and with that, raising the level cap is important. So that's my number 1 pick for sure. I feel like, I don't know when, obviously we don't have any dates or anything confirmed, but at least I can tell you that it just makes more sense, right? It's one of those things that, like, for sure I feel like it would have come. The second thing that I feel like is very likely to happen is that Digimon rebalancing. So this might take time, they might do it in waves, but I do believe that is something that you can easily do. Changing the stats of each Digimon doesn't seem to take that much of a time, especially when you figure out that it's not the main cast of Digimon that they're going to change. They're going to change anything that is on the weaker side, such as Megas or Burst modes, as opposed to like your typical triple S plus Digimon that are already pretty decent, right? So I can see that being something that is realistically possible for 2024. The next thing that I feel like is very possible is that implementation of the harder dungeons, and maybe the incorporation of different dungeons, right? I can see that happening right away. It doesn't take that long to basically create a dungeon. They have the maps, they have the places. It's just a matter of fighting the boss, putting it in a map, and then just calling it a raid, right? We have seen how they reuse a lot of the maps already, so I can see that being something that is very plausible for 2024. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about the things that don't sound as plausible. The incorporation of actual like tank versus attacker versus healer. That might be a little bit tricky just because we already have the moves already established. So like, how are you going to say that someone's a healer, someone's a tank, someone's an attacker, unless you change basically how Digimon's core works? I feel like it would take a little bit more time and process to kind of think about how that's going to look. And I feel like that if it does happen, I would expect it to be more later 2024, not so much like, you know, early next year, which is what this video is all about. Another thing that I find it to be very plausible, okay, something that's like I feel like they could do easily, is the incorporation of that new item that's going to be better than the chicken combo. That should be super easy. You add an item to the game, you put it as a drop for farming, and then you just let it go, right? Chicken combo obviously is now not good enough, so that's super easy that they can do it. I can see that happening fairly soon here. The idea of giving back to the veteran players, I can see that happening soon as well. Obviously, we just saw what they did to the new players with the jumping and the Susanoo Shin, or Susanoo Awakening, whatever you want to call it. I can see them easily making an event for veteran players that have played for a while and giving them the things that they might need, right? Late game, mid game type situation. So I can see that happening as well in a fairly easy way. But yeah, guys, I mean, 2024 looks great. You know, we don't know when the remaster is going to come, but of course they're setting everything up for that. So anything that you see here, the level cap, you know, the item increase, you know, the healer items that they'll add, all that stuff, that seems very possible. Guys, make sure that you're ready, you're sticking around, because this game is going to explode. We're hoping that by the end of 2024, this looks completely different, and we're all very happy. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.